Thanks a lot for this webinar, and thanks for the mates to be present. I think we have to go back to history to evaluate all the challenges that we have. Talking about SARS, talking about recession 2008, talking about 9/11. I mean, who expected some years ago to have these scanners in the middle of our lobbies or at the entrance of our hotels, these armed detectors? So our business is permanently evaluating and re-evaluating itself. Part of our action plan, I would say, between brackets, it's optimizing operations, cross-training staff, re-evaluating internal spendings, property updates, cancellation policy changes, and pricing adjustments, and audits of existing technological infrastructure. I think if we definitely go through all this, we would definitely find out that a lot has to be done. COVID-19 has been a very, very tough challenge. We have to review our strategies and we have to set new priorities. You have to set new procedures, new procedures, train the staff, and of course think of artificial intelligence to come up with new resolutions.
Okay, that's great. Mr. Kamel, can I ask you, we're people business. What would your vision look like for your employees and your guests, and also then the owners? Because at the end of the day, we also need to make a profit.
We are business makers, and I do believe that this is an opportunity to enhance new business, new way of thinking. Hotels have gone for safe and clean certification. What we did already. Today we have to think about what does the guest need, and that's the opportunity. So if you adapt your product to the needs of the guest, procuring security, safety, a clean climate and atmosphere, so we deliver something different from the others, but at the same time you have to prepare and organize for a proper atmosphere, safe and clean for these guests.
Thank you. So hygiene is the new luxury. We've got a responsibility in this space with this change of model to manage the costs. So in any study that we've done in our past would find that hygiene and cleanliness are basically the top priority of any guests, along with anticipating their needs.
I do believe that we're going to service robots like in China now. You have plenty of contactless robot service restaurants. So you don't have people, you just have the cashier getting the payments, and that's all. And the rest of the staff is robots. So the dish, you just have to use a tablet or to use simply the table, which is a contact table, and then you go through the menu and you get your plate through a robotized system, getting straight to your table. We have seen lately the contactless bank cards, so people can pay with their cards just to show the card to the terminal and get the payment. We have digital menus on the table itself, which is digital, or simply with the
barcode
menus. Yeah, digital menus. We have seen personal mobile device via QR codes as well. We have seen contactless digital payments and keyless entry. So as Isam has said before, but I think our business is a human business. We call it hospitality. Yeah, interaction. We call it hospitality. I mean, we cannot just say to the guest, "Okay, you go to." I lived in Japan, where you used to have the capsule rooms, 2 square meter, and the guest comes, pays to a machine, and then gets inside. I don't call it a hotel. I'm sorry. I mean, a hotel, you have a general manager, you have employees, but we have to set the rules, of course, to keep our staff secure, to keep our guests secure. Some of the mobile PMS, for example, where the guest can do his check-in before arriving, doing his checkout from his room, leaving, and then getting his invoice through the email, for example. I think that there should be a bit of humanity in our business. It should be there. We're talking about hotels since 3 centuries before Jesus. I mean, it's a long way, and it's a very important business, and we call it hospitality. So when you go and eat in someone's home, you just say thank you for your hospitality. So it's part of human nature, of international culture, and we cannot just say today, oh, we cannot receive the guests, we have to stop, we have to do this, we have to do that. I think we have to think wise and say, okay, the guest is looking for safety, we're going to give him safety. But the smile that we give to that guest is the purpose of our existence and of our passion, which is hotel business. And I do honestly believe that human touch should remain in this business, with, of course, procedural basis, and of course safety and security to the guests. We can do whatever we want, Bureau Veritas, safe and clean, as we have done ourselves, and Onomo and Accor and all these companies. It's a must. It's definitely a must today if you want to get guests. But at the same time, what makes a difference, it's the person who is opposite to you, behind the plexiglass, behind a very secure door, whatever you call it, who can definitely say, welcome to you, sir. Have you had a good trip? Are you tired? Where are you coming from? Etc. And I think that it's a passion. It's normal business. It's a passion. Thank you.
So thank you, gentlemen. In your space, what is your focus in terms of keeping your service personalized? What are the main things that you are doing right now?
We've worked a lot since the beginning of the crisis. I should say that it's a new crisis. I mean, you're just having your people, welcoming your people normally, and then once say, up, be careful, stop, guys. Plane is coming with COVID-19, and it's going straight ahead to your place. So, I mean, it's a big slap that you get in your face, and then you look at your people, you look at your guests, you look at the hood word, and you say, it's the end of the world. You just hear 1,500 people died in the United States, 1 million. I mean, it's a mess. And then you say to yourself, okay, wait, have a sit, think twice, and say, what are you going to do for your teams to protect them? What are you going to do for your guests to protect them? I should say that in Azalai, we have been, I mean, the government has asked us to take people. We didn't know to confine people. We didn't know whether these people were sick or not. So we had to protect our teams. So we had to see the people in government and say, what are you organizing for us to get these people? And we have sick people in one of my properties. We had sick people in the hotel. So the hotel was mainly a hospital, between brackets. So it's terrible. I mean, the feeling that you have vis-a-vis your staff is really an issue. You don't sleep. You think if you have someone sick, especially at the beginning where COVID was seen like a disaster, you're sick, you're dead. Okay, this is what the case was. Now it's a bit different.
You know, what's important about that is that cities like Dubai and certain other places have proved that hotels can actually have a food and beverage culture and a dynamic food and beverage flow. And if done right, it can lead to a significant increase in top line revenues, and which would, you know, like you say, alleviate the pressure from the occupancies. Kamel, what other things are you doing in your space? You know, you mentioned beforehand to me takeaways, but what other things that you are doing in Azalai?
Yeah, in fact, all the businesses worldwide have suffered the same. Definitely, all hotels are suffering exactly the same from COVID, and it creates a lot of frustration. So what we say to our teams, think wise and think out of the box. If the guest doesn't come to your place, go to him. So this is what we are doing. So we're targeting embassies, for example. You have plenty of activities that embassy do, but today with the COVID, they reconsider completely the safety and security side of their moving. And the thing is, go and see the embassies, for example, NGOs, and say, guys, if you cannot come to our place, we'll definitely come. We have a hotel in Lumbila, for example. It's a kind of isolated place, 23 kilometers from Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. And this hotel used to be difficultly operating, while now in the crisis, it's booming. Why? Because first, in terms of security, physical security, it's perfect. Second, the space is big enough. It's 4.5 hectares, it's big enough. So, which is very optimal for dissociation. Third, the team is nice, the food is good, and the meeting facility is big enough, so it gives a chance to the delegates to be far away from each other, and it works. We signed contracts with the United Nations. We signed contracts with different NGOs, and what we have done as well, we hired some policemen during the event, and these policemen secure a bit the space. This is one thing. The second thing, we have to think less people. Definitely, like Samantha says, today we cannot make big events of 300, 400, 5,000. So you are limited to a certain number. Easy food, very easy food, pick up and not, in Africa we eat all together with hands and no more, fini, termine, no more, no more. And of course, bento system, targeting niche markets. We create the bento system. Sometimes even inside the hotel, some of the guests will tell you, I need a room service in a bento way. So you need to put it in a certain way, laminated Chinaware, and then put your food and serve it in the room. So, I mean, COVID-19 has completely reviewed our way of thinking, our way of serving guests, our way of targeting guests, and our way of handling them.
That's excellent. I mean, it just shows you can't keep a good hotelier down. If I had to ask, there might have been some opportunities where you've taken the time and disclosure time to maybe renovate one of your hotels. Is there anything that you've done in that area, and what has worked for you?
I mean, COVID is an opportunity, as we have talked about before. It's an opportunity for us because we're working on 5 projects. One project in Dakar, and we're trying to open it before the second semester next year. A big property of 200 rooms on the front of the sea. Really, really nice property. We have another one in Ouagadougou, the former Independence Hotel that we have renovated and upgraded. Now 230 rooms, opening July next year. We have as well taken this opportunity to think of renovating some of our old properties, like Cotonou in Benin and Bissau in Guinea-Bissau. So we're working on it, and we have a third project that we are launching as well in Mauritania and Nouakchott. So an extension. We just finished a week ago the extension of a hotel that we have in Bamako, 60 rooms plus 64 new rooms, upgrading the property to 124 rooms. So the group is taking this opportunity to grow. We are a small group, but very dynamic group, and I think our president, Mr. Musaddiq Bali, is a very optimistic person, audacious, and I guess that his he has a kind of very open mind. And I think that this is the time, even if the crisis is quite there, but I'm thinking that partners can definitely support, especially banks, support, because they are in a very bad situation as well. So we have to profit out of this and make things happen now.
Thank you, and thank you very much for your time today. And I hope everybody stays safe and keeps on testing negative and stays positive. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks to you.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, Sam and Nisam. Bye bye.